I ain't gonna lie, right? So, I'll be real with you. The earlier days, like my dad permitted me to 16. All right, my nigga, I had a dream, bro. Earlier today, I was laying in the bed before you had pulled up, and I was dreaming about a loved one of mine trying to, I think, like, rescue me or something. You know what I'm saying? She's driving. She's trying her best, but for some reason, while we it's like we got away. Well, we got away, but we're headed to the destination. You feel me? We almost there, and for some reason, you ever had somebody driving so long they get weary? You know what I'm saying? But this type of weary was her. Like, her life was like, I don't know what. She just like was giving up. You know what I'm saying? Behind the wheel, bro. And I'm like, no, like, where we was about to. She was drifting off. I forgot who was in the passenger seat. But I'm like, nah, like, you gotta hold on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get up, you got this. Like, you know what I'm saying? She got real weary. And it was like, if I didn't take courage to just go ahead, hop on her lap, my nigga, jump in the passenger seat, the driver's seat, and grab the wheel. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm trying to, like, encourage her behind me, I'm like, look, like, you gotta believe in God. You gotta trust God. I think I was trying to get her to the hospital or something. And she's like, I'm not gonna make it. And I'm like, you gotta trust God, man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, we almost there. You know what I mean? And for some reason, I had to drive, bro. Like, and I'm driving, my nigga. And it's like, as I'm keeping her from going to sleep and drifting off, I'm having to still watch the road and drive the car. You know what I'm saying? And I think somebody was in pursuit after us or something. I don't remember. But I woke up from it after I knew, like, I had it. You know what I'm saying? But man, that feeling was kind of like, it's still in my solar plex, bro, because, like, I was kind of uneasy about the dream a little bit. You know what I mean? And I just see how she came to rescue me, and I ended up having to
rescue her.
Yeah, bro. You know what I mean? So I was kind of trying to figure out what God was trying to tell me. You know what I mean?
Well, what message was he sending you?
You know, I'm always kind of like, you know, I don't remember my dreams for some reason, man. Even though I don't remember, like, all the details of my dreams, for some reason I always keep written within me the emotions that transpire within the dream. You know what I'm saying? So I'm never, like, losing the dream from what I've experienced in the dream. You know what I'm saying? But when I need to understand and know something, right? Like right now, I'm in question. What were you trying to tell me, right? And in this moment, what I'm registering, being that I culminated when I woke up, what I did today. And I'm like, all right, I was, I was scrolling, you know what I'm saying? When I was posting in a little live or whatever. And sometimes, man, I might just see people, man, that just try to go live, you know, and they'll try their best to, you know, service and you know, hold to their duties, you know what I mean? Because people go live for different reasons, you know what I'm saying? But maybe spiritually, I'm kind of intuitive of certain things that transpire within when I'm watching a person, you know what I mean? And I can register so much. It's like, dang, sometimes I'm compelled to react or interact, or I might find myself texting, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just trying to encourage the individual, you know? Sometimes you gotta just touch them, give them the touch of God, you know what I'm saying? Not like really ministering, but just, you know, securing them sometimes, to let them know, like, you know, just to remind them who they are, you know what I mean? I'm always watchful over a person's esteem, you know what I'm saying? So today, I don't want to base the dream based off of that, but I think God was letting me know, like, hold on, like, God was letting me know that this is a particular person that I need to apply a little concern to, you know what I mean? And I noticed that the person had some points within their life that they became dismayed, like, you know, you kind of seeing depression come upon them. And it's not like, you know, looking at a person and seeing them smile all the time, you would kind of assume that this person is strong. They're level, you know what I mean? They're anchored. Like they don't. Certain things don't really move them or overwhelm them, but they're human too. Like, and I got to register, like, man, yeah, man. Even just like the Messiah became overwhelmed, you know what I mean? Life can overwhelm you. You know what I mean? And then we still have this critical mind that's constantly trying to draw out narratives and analogies and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And sometimes that can make things very uneasy. You know what I mean, for a person. And sometimes I can register that person is still undergoing some sense of a battle. And I'm like, man, it's time for me to kind of interject. Hey, I don't need you drifting off. You know what I'm saying? You need to stay focused. You know, you need to really hold your head. You know what I mean? You're stronger than this. You know that you got to know who you are. I'm not mistaking this. Sometimes I gotta let God just be like, sometimes I might just sit back and just be like, man, I don't need to be wasting my energy on this. But sometimes, man, God be like, hey, man, I called you. You know, you got a duty. You know, it's certain things you got to do that, in certain places you got to go that people can't go. You know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to understand, you know, this degree of awareness that I have. You know, and I pray that you know, that little aspect of encouragement was enough reassurance for that person to be anchored in within themselves to where they can hold to their esteem and their self-worth. You know what I mean? And like, I'm not that type of person that's clingy or whatever, or I'm just encouraging a female because I'm attracted all the time. You know what I mean? It's not nothing like that. I look at humanity as humanity, bro. And it's like, you never, all right, that's where I know I gotta service and, you know, do my duty, right? I've learned that every human being's esteem on this earth is very vital. I don't overlook that no more. You know what I mean? That's like, if I can bring up a perfect analogy, right? That's like, say I wake up in the morning, I get dressed, I go out for work, right? Say I'm in a big city, okay? And I gotta catch a cab, right? Upon me catching the cab, I'm walking and I'm trying to flag this cab down, but somebody bump into me, boom. And I come a little displaced and get a little agitated, right? And now a homeless person come up to me and be like, hey, can I have such, or could you spare, you know, some food or whatever, you know what I mean? And I'm like, man, I ain't in the mood right now, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm like, hey, excuse me, bro, I ain't, you know what I mean? And I give them that aspect of negative energy, right? And that little fragment of negative energy can spread so great. Check now, say this, all right? Right before I went on my way to work or whatever, I had to go and drop my child or my kid off to the bus station. You see what I'm saying? And when I left my child, you know, waiting on the bus, I'm headed this direction. The homeless man headed this direction. You see what I'm saying? All right. So say I brush the homeless man off and give him negative energy. So my face all bunched up and I got this little attitude, you know what I mean? So then from me having an encounter or just making a light little brief of a second contact with that homeless person,
the energy done rubbed off.
Facts though, watch how it spread. And I take this energy and upon me getting the cab, say somebody needed the cab and it was an emergency, but I'm such in a hurry now, you know what I mean? The person that flagged the cab down, I'm like, excuse me, I need to, you know what I mean? Could you know what I mean? It's like, excuse me, sir, we're really in a hurry. Such, man, I gotta get it, man. Where I'm going, man. Y'all got to back up. We have such, I don't need that, man. If you know, and I give them my attitude, then I hop in the cab. So now I'm gonna call the cab driver. I'm not suspecting, but I go about my day, right? Say the homeless man that I just passed, right? I gave him that negative energy. Now, the homeless man is so hungry, he don't really got the energy to go ask nobody else. So, he like, man, I'm just going to the store and get me something to eat. You know what I'm saying? But the store that he goes into is right outside of the bus station where my child's at, right? Boom. So he go in there and he go stealing out the store. Somebody catch him, he go bailing out the store. Hey! So he get caught. But on the way him getting caught and the police coming, they trying to detain him, he spazzed out. We don't know he's armed. You see what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, he spazzed out and goes slanging bullets everywhere. And just so happened, my child get hit. You know what I'm saying? All right. Note now, that happened there. Boom. Just so happened, the people that was trying to get to the cab was 2 nurses at the ER. You understand? And now they couldn't get to work to the ER in time. You understand? Because they was late.
And they was there to
save my child. I just try to sum it up. You know what I'm saying? But all that could have been avoided had I had the right esteem, the right attitude. You know what I mean?
We're jumping in these folks' cab. It was all God's will. Yeah.
You understand?
It was destined to happen.
So now, right, I learned this. You know, I've learned this, to be watchful over a person's esteem. You know what I'm saying? So I'm never the type of person to try to beat a person down. Or I'm never the type of person to sit back and watch a person be bullied. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm a superhero or nothing, you know, but if I could do something to make a difference in the world, I would. And if it's as small as me just saying, hey, you know, man, I appreciate you, man, for what you do. Hey, keep going. Hey, you know, you're great. Or this is one fella I seen, man, yesterday, man. I didn't even know this guy knew how to play the guitar, boy, but that boy bad, boy. When I say he bad, bro, he raw. Now, the guy is, I'm gonna say he's a tarot card reader. You know what I'm saying? He do tarot. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't about the guitar. But somebody, I ain't gonna get into that. But it was so wild that the man said to himself, nobody knows how great this young man is. You understand? He's so in the cut. You would least the man so you would not even know this man is as talented as he is. You know what I'm saying? But if I'd never invested my time to just want to encourage somebody today, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. You know what I'm saying? You know, you just don't know. It's take that little bit for the person to walk out of his house, man, and change somebody's life, though. You know what I'm saying? Save somebody's life, though. You know what I'm saying? You can take that one little spark of good attitude and esteem, and that man can go out there and change the world. You know what I mean? Man could have took that guitar feeling so good from all the compliments he got and was like, man, I'm about to go and play today, man. Them folks made me feel good in my life today. And you go out and play one day, and all of a sudden the world really find that he was one of the greatest guitar players that ever lived. You know what I'm saying? Or the greatest drummer or artist that ever lived, you know? It's just, and it inspires others to do, you know, great things. But it's just, for me, seeing that it can take one little ripple in the ocean, bro. That was enough to just change the atmosphere. It was enough to just float a drowning body to the shore. You know what I'm saying? That one little ripple, man, was enough, bro, just to float a drowning body to the shore, bro. Like, and I thank God that I had the dream, because I wouldn't have been at the right place at the right time today to encourage somebody, let them know that they're important to me. They really mean a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? That they're somebody to me. You know what I mean? Regardless of how the word. I watched, man, you might have seen this person. I watched people, man, really say some real hurtful things to this person. And this person is so headstrong, bro. Like, so strong. So like to get up every day, man, and love herself. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the world beating nobody down like that. Just because you want to feel good about yourself, you got to go out your way just to make somebody like miserable. You know what I mean? And me, I just don't be having that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And my love run deep for real. Like, so, you know, I'm servicing. You know what I mean? And sometimes, man, you know, we even call it to service our enemies, man. You know what I mean? Because it could take that one little spark of encouragement to just change their whole perspective or way of thinking, or their whole intentions on who they are today. It might transform in the next given second and be like, you know what? No, man, I forbid myself to ever give off this type of spirit. You know what I'm saying? It could just take that one little spark of love, man, to change a person's whole life for real, bro. You know what I mean? In perspective, dude. And, man, I just had to say that, man. So, I don't really be knowing what I'm gonna talk about before I talk about it, or commitments or revelations for real. I could reference into scripture, but sometimes, like I said, man, like sometimes, you know, after you done digest the word so much, or you done been orientated by the scripture so much, you already know how to go out and do your job. It's like, you know, when you're just very receptive and open for God to just speak, you know, the word is living, it's living, it's alive. You know what I'm saying? So you got to acknowledge that. You know, a lot of us elders don't have that capacity. Oh, I can take you to the water, but I can't help you drink. I did enough. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it might take that little extra mile that nobody wouldn't go for that person. Really, really, like, you know what I'm saying? Some people can be consumed in, you know, in a darkness that, you know, life seems like it can never ever have any substantial, like, placement. Like, darkness can be so thick within that person's world, where they can be so desensitized. They don't have a conscience. They don't have emotions. They don't have feelings. You know what I'm saying? And you might think like, oh man, it's a wrap for that person. Ain't no coming back for that one. You know what I'm saying? I done did more than enough. Yeah, it's okay to shake the dust off your feet and go on about your business. But sometimes you can just lead by example. You ain't gotta always be like, hey, come on, man, this is the way we supposed to be going. Come on, this how you gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta do that. I got a sister, man, that I realized watched me grow up. Some traits she picked up behind me that wasn't appropriate, bro. And man, you know, I realized that when I became, you know, I'm older, so it's like I can't really school her. I can't really lecture her. She always being like, she always stiff on me. You know what I'm saying? So I realized like I couldn't really go to her with no wise words sometimes. But for some reason, she pretty much pick up or copy pretty much a lot of stuff that I do. You know? So I said, you know what? I'm gonna start living right. I'm gonna do right. You know what I'm saying? And when I picked up professionalism, all that being hood and all that started weaning off of her. I said, I turned back. She out, you know, really actually, you know, articulating her words now. She's trying to, you know what I'm saying? She's very professional and got work ethics, bro. You know what I'm saying? And she's a real loving, compassionate mother. You know what I mean? It's hard for her to understand because she's, you know, she don't went through a lot of pain in this world, you know? And me, sometimes I can understand why a person, you know, do what they do in poverty. I can understand why a person do what they do because they broke. And you can have money and still be broke, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm just understanding enough to know. So I ain't never really holding it against them, even if they know better. I know ignorance for real. I come out of it, you know? So I got a strength that God has provided to me because when it looked like it wasn't no coming back for me, bro, God really did that, you know? And just as I'm deserving, every being who's been bestowed a breath just like I am, a breath of life just like I am, bro, is just as worthy. You know what I mean? I'm no better. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm at with it. So I'm just gonna keep that commandment to love my brothers as I love myself. I ain't here to be sitting here trying to always find fault and ridicule, and I'm back and forth. Oh, you did me wrong, and I'm right and wrong, and you, cause you right and wrong me, and you felt like I deserve to be damned, so I gotta be spiteful and feel like you need to be damned too. No, that's not how that go with me, brother. You know, I really truly understand for real, you know, and I ain't here to beat you down cause you felt like I should be without. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still accountable for the bed I made. You know what I mean? But I know in this second that God has given me, and this time and space that I have, I'm gonna show up and show out for my God, and I'm gonna and raise my praise and my gratitude on high, and I'm gonna do the best I can with this given second, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's all that matters. It's not for the people. You care about clout. You know, I ain't where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? People become so imprisoned thinking their lives been ruined. I watch a lot of guys in here, man, serving life in prison right now, bro. It feel like it's over with for their life. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap, bro. Like, hey, what can I do now? I'm like, bro, you missed the point of this, you missed the point behind life, for real. It's like, what really, really actually matters is God introducing himself to you right now. Success is not defined in the applaud of in being appeased by people and what people applaud, the credentials from man. Like, that's not success. And you become enslaved by trying to meet these margins and these goals and these points of accomplishments and these achievements that the world applaud. You know what I'm saying? But then you just totally exclude the gift of life of you being able to entertain the BS that the world applaud. You know what I'm saying? Like, God really gave you that, you know, and it's like, what's the ultimate success to you, for real? And I know you do your music, bro. I know that I'm glad that I was found worthy enough to even just give off my point of preference, you know what I'm saying? Give my opinion, and God found that worthy. You know what I'm saying? And if the world applauds that and I become and get achievements for that, that's my cup running over, for real. But I'm full, for real, because you got spirits that ain't got another second to be like, thank you, God. You know what I'm saying? You got other lives that ain't got no seconds to be like, thank you, God. You know what I'm saying? In this one little moment, bro. So I'm like, you just tell the world, like, whoever this even meets, that, you know what I mean? Like, hey man, look at your hands and see, like, look at him. Look at this. Nothing a man has made can ever outdo this. This don't skip like no CD. This ain't no video game. You know what I'm saying? This ain't what you thinking. All this being favored by man and embraced by man, it would never make up you. It would never be. It can never appraise you, for real. Truly, the true appraisal is from God, and He found you worthy enough to have that inhale and exhale. Don't waste it. Don't waste it on things that you craft. Don't waste that on that. You know what I'm saying? Don't waste it on things of the world and approval of man. Don't waste that on that, bro. So, this is where I'm at with it, homie.
Where does it express or insinuate that esteem is an essential element to one's faith in God in the Bible and list? Esteem in the sense of self-worth or respect is not explicitly stated as an essential element of faith in God in the Bible, but the concept is closely related to how faith is lived out. Several passages emphasize the importance of humility, reliance on God, and understanding one's value as coming from God. This perspective of esteem is rooted in recognizing oneself as God's creation and understanding one's worth in light of God's love and grace. Psalm 139:13-14. This passage reflects on the worth and value of each person as uniquely created by God. For you created my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, I know that full well. Here, self-esteem comes from recognizing God's intentional creation of each individual, suggesting that a healthy sense of worth is rooted in acknowledging that one is valued by God. Matthew 22:37-39. Jesus teaches the two greatest commandments, linking love for God and love for self. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. The command to love others. The command to love others as yourself implies that healthy self-regard, or esteem, is assumed to be part of how one lives in relationship with God and others. Loving others well is tied to understanding your own value in God's eyes. Ephesians 2:10. Paul highlights the believer's identity and purpose. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Esteem here is derived from being God's creation made with intention and purpose, reinforcing a sense of value rooted in faith. Romans 12:3. Paul also warns against inflated self-esteem while encouraging humility and accurate self-assessment. For by the grace given me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment, in accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you. This passage speaks of balanced esteem. For by the grace given me, I say to every one of This passage speaks of balanced esteem. Faith in God leads to humility but also acknowledges the grace God has given each believer. In summary, biblical teachings suggest that self-esteem, when grounded in God's love and grace, supports faith. It encourages believers to see their worth not in worldly terms but as children of God, made with purpose, and loved unconditionally. Exactly. Good references though. Maybe this is a personal development of information I've gained spiritually, and now has become a principle in my social exchanges in life. It sounds like this personal development of understanding esteem through a spiritual lens has become an integral part of how you navigate your relationships and interactions. You're applying the spiritual insights you've gained in practical, social ways, which is a profound way to integrate faith into everyday life. If this principle of esteem has evolved from your spiritual journey, it could be a reflection of how deeply you've come to understand your own worth in God's eyes and how that shapes your interactions with others. Would you say this aligns with how you approach your exchanges now? Exactly, leading me to share such a worth to others, reminding them of our common place of inheritance through encouragements that are not only verbalized but gestured in gratitude and praise to God for their existence. If I'm articulating this rightly, you're articulating this beautifully. By acknowledging the shared inheritance we all have through God and expressing it through encouragement, gratitude, and praise, you are embodying a profound sense of community and connection. It reflects an understanding that each person's existence is worthy of honor and thanks, not only in words but in actions, creating a space for others to experience their own value in God's eyes. It's a powerful way of uplifting others while expressing your own gratitude for their presence in your life.